All right, everybody, so in your packets, if you could open up your packets, there towards the end there is a sheet that says, did you recently lose benefits? And I just want to give you a heads up about what that sheet is aiming to do. As you all have learned from everybody today, having the community engaged in this is crucial, right? So we all talk to lots of people every day who may or may not need a little bit more assistance. And so this sheet is aiming to make it easy for you to have that conversation with them. Can I borrow yours, Carmen? So this is not meant to be a screener. There are lots of screeners. It's not meant to help somebody figure out if they have a BUD status or anything like that. It's just a very brief introduction. And as we mentioned earlier, it's crucial to have a conversation with the eligibility worker before anything else, right? So if your benefits get cut, the first thing you want to do is call the Human Services Agency. And this is a new thing, right? Where you want to be forthcoming with the worker about, I'm dealing with depression and that's why I haven't been able to work, or I'm dealing with anxiety. Again, because that's a new thing, I think having community-based organizations on the same page saying, hey, talk to the worker, let them know what's going on for you is going to make a huge difference. So that's the first thing on this sheet, is call the county, let them know what's going on for you. If for whatever reason you're not exempted from the ABOD rules or you still need support, there are other resources in San Francisco, of course. So we put two main resources on here. One is 211. 211 is a multilingual 24/7 resource helpline that basically can help folks get referrals for any manner of resources, not limited to food. So if people are looking for housing assistance, if they're looking to get, with a job training program and they haven't been able to find one, that's a great one-stop shop. It's easy to call. If they have access to internet on their phones or want to use the internet, we also have a service through the food bank that I'm going to show you really briefly. We've been working really hard to try to make it a little bit easier to find out where you can get food. I'm going to try to do this with the microphone. And what I want to show you is something called the food locator. Oh no, come back. I already had it ready and everything. All right. So this is the Find Food page. All right, so on this Find Food page, you have the food locator, which is basically a tool where you can put in your zip code or the client's zip code, answer a couple of really basic questions about their situation, and you will have pre-populated resources for that client. So if they're 60 or older, they'll have resources for folks that are 60 or older. If they're not, they won't. If they're in an urgent situation without access to food, they'll have information about an emergency food box, so on and so forth. In the interest of time, I'm going to skip going through it, but it's really user-friendly, shows you where pantries are. It is important to know that we have pantries all across the city, of course. Some cities are more impacted than others. Clients will always see the pantries that are open first, and so they'll see maybe pantries that potentially are outside of their neighborhood but have space for them. So just keep that in mind. Of course, we are keeping track of what's going to be happening in the next few months. If we see a huge upsurge in clients in a certain area, we'll be able to hopefully respond as best as we can. But just keep in mind that even if if there's a waitlisted pantry, they should still sign up. Also, if somebody has their first choice pantry is only waitlisted, but there's another pantry that's available, they should go to the pantry that's available, and when they register, let them know what their first choice pantry is, and they'll be able to get them on that list. So we have that food locator, we have some CalFresh information, some information about our pantry network, the supplemental food program, a monthly food box for seniors, a program guide that's really easy to print. It's 8.5 by 11, black and white. You can print it out and hand it out to clients with information about all of our resources. And then this More Resources page has information from other community-based organizations in San Francisco and also DCYF. So you'll see information about 211, again, really easy to call. Meal programs in San Francisco and Marin, summer meals for kids through DCYF, lunch for seniors and adults with disabilities, some more information about home delivered meals and Eat Fresh. So this is kind of a pretty comprehensive way to find information about food. And again, keep in mind that if you call 211, you're not just gonna get information about food, but information about other stuff too. Okay, so thank you all for bearing with us and for sticking around. Yes.
So the freeprintshop.org?
Yes.
So we hand those out.
Yeah, absolutely. So
does this all overlap with what's going on there? Or?
That's a really great question. So the free Eats chart is great. It has congregate meal sites mostly. It does not have a comprehensive list of pantries. So I will just go ahead and show you really quickly what this looks like. So you'll put in your language preference, that you're looking for food assistance. I'll put in a zip code, this is 94112. I'm only gonna check in an urgent situation with no access to food, because that might be a situation that folks that have been conferred ABOD status are in. You hit search, and then you'll see weekly groceries. The second tab is emergency food, which is emergency food boxes, and then a little bit about CalFresh. It will let you know what to bring to the pantry to get registered, which is just ID with your current address. It will show, again, open for enrollment pantries first, and then pantries that are open for enrollment outside of your neighborhood, and then those that have a wait list. And then so we have Mission Bay Church, for example, open for enrollment on Saturdays. There's a little map. And actually one feature that's really cool is that you can text this information to clients. So if you're on the phone with somebody and they have their phone and they're like scrambling to find a piece of paper, you can say, you know what, it's totally fine, I'll just text this to you. So it'll send a little text message with just the basic information they need to know to get there. So again, we'll start out with open for enrollment pantries, and then you can always click view more. So then you'll see this is outside of your zip code, right? So it'll let folks know. Again, different neighborhoods have different capacities, you know, can be a bit challenging, but most neighborhoods have a couple open pantries. And at the very bottom, you'll see if it's waitlisted, it has a little like alert sign. Okay? Great. Yes, question?
Under the CalFresh tab or area that you have, does it also direct you to where to sign up?
Great question.
Do the inputting?
Yeah, so we do have a CalFresh outreach team at the food bank. The CalFresh outreach team assists people who need a little support to get through the process, to try to make it as easy as possible. And so that will basically link to an appointment at one of our sites for assistance to apply for CalFresh. Definitely with this scale of an effort, we want folks to be reaching out to HSA if they have any issues as far as having ABOD status, but of course people can always call us if they want to talk things through a little bit. We do have some materials in the back, but that's just to apply. It's not an actual interview with an eligibility worker. Yes.
Francesca, I just want to put in a plug for the Human Services Agency website. That's at hsa.org. It also has CalFresh information about how to apply in person, how to initiate an application by phone, and how to start an application online. You can find that all on the HSA website.
Yes, and the HSA website is beautiful. Did a really, really great job with it. Oh no, sorry. Okay, so with that, we're gonna get into our groups. And we're gonna talk this through a little bit. As we all know, it can be a little awkward to have these kinds of conversations for the first time. So we're gonna do that in the safety of, you know, groups of our peers. So if you could just look on your name tag, figure out what number you have on your name tag, and then go to the appropriate sticky. So group 1 is over here. It goes group 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thank you.